Shri Sai Ram, offering my humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Today we are going to see the fifth story in the series of Oka Chinna Katha. The title of the story is The Sacred Fruit of Action. On Saturday, a father was involved in worshipping the Lord, and he called his son and told him to get some plantains for 1 rupee. This son was a good boy. He purchased the plantains, but on his way he saw a mother and son who were very hungry standing on the road. When the hungry boy saw the plantains, he ran towards him. The hungry mother, who saw the boy running, ran after him and caught him, but both of them collapsed of hunger. When this young man found these people suffering so much from hunger, he thought that it was much better to feed hungry people than take the bananas home. He gave the bananas to this mother and son and later brought water and gave it to them. These people were so relieved of their hunger and thirst that they expressed their gratitude in many different ways and shed tears of joy. This young student went home empty-handed, and when the father asked him if he had brought the bananas, he replied in the affirmative. When asked where the bananas were, the son replied that the bananas were sacred, would not rot and could not be seen. The son explained that he fed 2 hungry souls with the bananas, and the fruits which he brought home are only the sacred fruits of the action. The father then felt that his son was worthy of him, and he felt that all his prayers had been answered that day. The father developed great affection for the son that day, and they came much closer to each other. The moral of the story is about the selfless service, the service which the son rendered to the mother without expecting anything in return. What is selfless service? Our true nature is pure love. This love expresses itself spontaneously and without any external promptings as selfless service. In selfless service, there is the recognition of oneness between the one serving and one being served. This then leads us to realize the truth that the God in us is serving the God in the others. That is, Seva is the adoration of Lord, Vishwa Virat Swarupa, that is, God with the multifaceted form and with the immanence in the entire universe. Great sage Vedavyasa has declared that service to human being is the highest form of worship. Paropakaraya punyaya papaya paripaidanam. Let us see what are the characteristics of selfless service. Your seva, that is a selfless service, will be judged with reference to the mental attitude accompanying it. So whatever work is allotted, do it with fervor, understanding and reverence. Sathya Sai also says seva can be identified by means of 2 basic characteristics: compassion and willingness to sacrifice. Every seva done with sympathy and skill to anyone in distress anywhere in the world is Sathya Sai seva. When our minds are affected by the conditions of the world, we cannot really serve. A mind that is filled with anger or sadness or jealousy cannot serve. For a boat to reach its destination, water should remain outside the boat. Similarly, our mind should be detached, not affected by the worldly atmosphere, to bring strength to the people. Forms of selfless service. Service is sattvic, pure, when it is offered purely for the happiness of others and without any self-interest or precondition. Swami tells us that social service is not the only way to practice selfless service. So there are different forms of selfless service. The first is service through thoughts, deeds, and words. Service does not mean helping with hands alone. Talk softly and sweetly, speak good words, that's also a form of a service. Never use harsh words. You cannot always oblige, but you can speak always obligingly. Bodily wounds can be cured by the use of medicines, but the wounds inflicted by the tongue can never be healed. The second is service through reverence to nature. Human being is deriving innumerable depths from nature and enjoying the amenities provided by nature in various ways. What is the gratitude of the human being to the nature? Do not waste water. Do not waste electricity, food, or any other natural resources. Number 3, through righteous living. Do not preach spirituality to a starving person. Feed the hungry, offer service, solace, and encouragement. The educated should try to teach the illiterate and open the minds of the ignorant to the wider vistas of knowledge. For example, doctors should not ask fees from the needy persons, neither the lawyers. The wealthy should realize that money should be earned by righteous manner and used for right purposes. Running a business honestly must be regarded as a form of social service and spiritual sadhana. Working people plead that there is no time for service activities. It is a lame excuse. Even in your work, you can render service by working more for the money you earn. Workers should do justice to their salaries. If a teacher imparts education on the right lines, he or she is rendering a real national service. What will please Swami is the proper performance of one's duties. Number 4 is service on the basis of the gunas. The mind, according to scriptures, is the cause of a person's bondage or liberation. The mind has 3 qualities: tamas, which is sloth and inaction, rajas, passion, and sattva is purity. The dull, activity-hating person, tamasic person, cling to the ego and to the kith and kin. Their love is limited to these. The rajasic, passionate persons seek to earn power, prestige, and love only those who will contribute to these. But sattvic, pure person, love all as embodiments of God and engage themselves in humble service. The sattvic, pure quality makes a person see good even in a bad person or object. The sattvic person sees good in the whole cosmos and fosters the godly appeasement to the creation. God can be known only by experience and not by experiments. Sadhana, the spiritual discipline, is needed for this purpose. Humans should cultivate and practice basic virtues as showing reverence for the mother, the father, and the preceptor. Everyone should act up to the motto, help ever, hurt never. Whom do we serve through this selfless service? Service to the needy, service to the animal, service to the family, and service to the society. Try to help those who are in distress, suffering, and poor. That is service to the needy. Service to animals. Animals like bulls, buffaloes render service to human beings in a number of ways. Feeding the cows or give some money to those who take care of the cows, like in Goshala. Service to the family. The first lesson, seva or selfless service, has to be learned in the family circle itself. Character of each individual member determines the peace and prosperity of the family. The character of each family is the basic factor that decides the happiness and joy of the village or community. And the nation's progress is based on the strength and happiness of the communities which are its components. There is no service greater than service to the parents. Consider service to parents as service to Lord. So service to family and bringing right values in the family is very important for a peaceful nation. Service to society. The first step is to understand the link that connects any two individuals. It is nothing but love. It is the basis of love, that the entire society is closely knit. What is a country? It is not the land, but the society that makes a country a nation. When the nation is prosperous and progresses with healthy growth, the needs of the individuals are also fulfilled. The individual is dependent on the society. He or she is born, brought up, and sustained by the society. Therefore, it is the duty of every individual to render selfless service for promoting the common welfare of the society. By rendering service to society, not only can you alleviate the sufferings of the people, but you can also bring about transformation in their lives. Yet serve society to your utmost capacity. Aim of selfless service. The first aim is alleviation of the suffering. Serve society, help the poor and needy in distress, and thus manifest the human quality of compassion. Second is spiritual progress. The path of service is superior to all the spiritual practices like japa, recitation, dhyana, meditation, and yoga. Only through service can you please God. Unselfish service is the sheet anchor of karma yoga. The basis of yoga is disciplining the mind and body through disinterested service. Offering love, the third one. Nishkama karma, selfless action or selfless service, is the fragrant flower of altruistic love. It is not to be performed for the satisfaction of the person rendering the service or the person at whose bidding it is done. How do we perform selfless service? Preparation for selfless service. When you offer worship to God in the morning, you must offer your obeisance to whatever work you propose to do. You must pray to the presiding deity of karma. Let me do today only pure, purposeful and helpful actions, Sathya Sai says. Before embarking on a service project, one must introspect and examine one's equipment for the sadhana, the spiritual discipline, whether one's heart is full of selfless love, humility and compassion. Number 2, sincere efforts. Recognizing the sacredness and purifying power of service, people should do the service. Baba asks, if you can serve the government or someone else for 8 hours a day for the money you earn from them, experiencing in the process many trials and difficulties, can't you devote some time to win the grace of God? So today we have seen the story, the sacred fruit of action. And what is selfless service? Characteristics of selfless service, forms of selfless service, service through thoughts, deeds, service through reverence to nature, service through righteous living, and service on the basis of guna. And whom do we serve through this selfless service? And like service to the needy, service to the family, service to the animals, service to the society, and aims of the selfless service, which is alleviation of suffering or spiritual progress, offering love. How do we perform this selfless service? In the story, The Sacred Fruit of Action, as Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba explained the characteristics of selfless service and the attitude in the selfless service and whom we should serve, etc. This boy has done by serving selflessly to the needy person, that's the hungry mother and the son, without any expectation. Hope you all enjoyed today's story and its inner significance. Next week, we will have a look at another story and its inner significance. Until then, Sai Ram.